Hey, NASDAQ, where you get the best dope on the markets. We're going to talk. I'm just going to throw out a few words right here, right now. These comments are good for no longer by the time you see them, okay? But they're just thoughts in the morning. This is corn. Corn still causes cancer here. Is this Dece? Oh, this is July. 435. We blew right through 23 and a quarter here. We just, fucking A. Catch a falling knife in corn here. Okay, now look here. This would be possible ways. Everything's a 3-tick stop, risk stop. Okay, so if you buy it 3 ticks, you're out. Let's say a penny. Okay, just for example purposes. Okay, so I'll tell you. So these thin olives can hold here. This is a smaller one. Okay, and then we have here. This is a larger one. See over there to the left, it extends. These other ones are shorter term. So 407 and a half, 402 and a half. Okay, we are coming into the end of the quarter, man. Someone is stuck long cash corn. I continue to ask that. I've been asking that for weeks, longer. We're going to jump around here. This is just something I want to say. Today it's 7:01 and June 25th, 6/25/25. Okay, we got stocks. Our technical terms here. You had an outline sell here. You got over. You got under. A lot of trade occurred here. Okay, this player sold it short. Okay. But anyway, now we are on the upside. I continue to think guys in the whole Bloomberg cabal are stuck short, okay? The big money, I could name them, but so this might just melt up. Money managers are underexposed in the U.S. and overexposed in Europe, which actually is going to kick their defense spending up to 5%. It sounds right here, right now, okay? Rumors and lies make markets. All right, we're talking freaking vertical. Look at this. This is a short-term chart. This is silver. Look at how these lines play. On this, okay, now this was my thought on this, okay? We came down here again. This was a great buy, this trend line right here, okay? That's a nice line. You want to learn what it is? Here's another bounce. This was not the first time, okay? And that's why then we came down here. You can see one of these teals here. Right now, that's at 35.30. Bid 31. 35.31. You have a standing bid. The thing about silver that scares me is this shit can break $10. Okay? It can. You can't say it. If you go back and look in 2020 again. I think we went down to 1250. I could be wrong. But anyway, so I wanted to be out of longs in silver, okay? And I thought this was fair enough. If you were looking, you had liquidation in the crude oil. And, anyway, here's the number, 3601.7. Okay, you can see it up here. We hit 1 o'clock in the morning. What was this? 2 o'clock. 2 o'clock is a time sometimes I've noticed now, as we become more international, and then those players in that particular market, their currencies rule at the time, in general. So silver scares me if you're, here, this is a line here, 3 cent stop, okay, 10 cents, 11 cents. And really, it can be. And you say, and then you know what? It either holds or it folds. This is a very good line. And over here, I think we turn back up. But if you want to buy a break here, and this holds, okay, that's silver. You need more on this, okay? That's why we do business. Listen. If you could sell 10 silver up here, 10 5,000 ounce silvers, the old Comex, okay? That's 500. It's $1,000 a 20 cents. With a 6-7 cent stop. Yeah, you can't do that. I know. Except all day yesterday, I was like, okay, I got to sell it against this. Okay, and it comes in trades perfect, So for this trader profile, they're like, okay, I give I give. You know, I bought it at this and I give on this. You know, so it's still a profit, but it's rapidly turning into something, you know, that could go either way. Absolutely either way. So if you're bullish, you know, you want to buy, and remember, we went from 33 to 37, okay, fast. As a matter of fact, we should probably have those levels up here. Come around next time, sign up for that NASDAQ, that VIP thing is a steal. You get charts to learn. As a matter of fact, let's look at these brown X's here, you know, how pivotal they are, you know. So that's the kind of stuff you get in the package. You say, well, what about gold? Okay, here's gold. And so Powell is being questioned by Congress. Okay, and there's something that I wrote down about how they view the tariffs as inflationary as opposed to the trade deficit, which that's got to be a little bit explored, in my opinion. You know, I want to see what the costs of that are. The costs of R&D development, tax-free, you know, tax-free, just like NGOs, just like all of it. And all those institutions are failing society. Not only failing, working against Western civilization. So we got gold here. We went up to this tiny olive here. This was not live back here, okay? But in any event, you're just looking at these ranges, okay? These things are, here you come down to this level over here. You know, under here, they might run some stops here, okay? 3276 is another small level here, okay? We got these ranges here. Because gold's gone up, you know. As a matter of fact, 1600. Remember that? That green, that old, if it ever got back down to 1616 Mockingbird Lane, that was a buy in gold, okay? So here we are 2 years later. Let's try to keep this to some of the things that move, okay? That move, you know. And this is bean oil, okay? So bean oil is some of bean oil in the last couple months. We got down to 41.50, 42. Yeah, it was, because then we rallied 1,000 points. $6,000 to one lot. Anyway, okay, here's the USDA announcement. Okay, so here we're knocking on the door here on a retracement. We've got this large gap. I have this highlighted. You got a high here, okay? And so those would be some of the ways, if you're looking for pivots or you're a bank, you know, and then I'd be selling it against this, you know, and then you're going to have that crowd that's going to sell that gap. Okay, and then these are a couple of my levels. We had, I think we went like 150, 56.81. What's this? Okay, about 140 points through. Okay, 3% through. Got another. And then these would be some of my numbers on the upside. Okay, up there. If we were to go, okay, so, but right now, if you're looking to buy bean oil, I don't know, man. So whatever got sorted out, we're going to assume that is being reflected in price right here. But I kind of think, you know, these would be places you'd nibble here. If this is, you know, if this is, because I always thought about this, or mentioned this in 1974, you know, was it in 1970? Because one of them goes first, either beans or oil. It's either meal or oil, but, and then oil share. Actually, let's look at that. Here's beans right now. It's 7:10 a.m. here. Beans new lows, you know. What can you say? This is November beans here. I had some sells in the Julys a little bit. Hang on a second. In the Julys up there. Here, 1081. Okay, this hit right here. And then 87 was another olive. Up there, potentially here. And look at this. Now we're crossing through here. Fucking A, man. You know, get ready here. You know, here because that's what we do. We go in these big ranges. And we've been going nowhere, okay? But still, 50 cents is pretty good. Or a buck, you know, just where we get up here, make a new high. And then get back under the high, get under two highs, okay? If you're trading like that, if you're looking for a trigger. Really seriously have a 1 penny higher stop. Well, not right into the olive. Okay, then you put it a little bit lower, or higher rather, a buy stop. You know, idea is you sell it short here. When it comes back through here, Okay, and then when you sell that, you put a buy stop in there, up there. You're just betting on new highs, you know. And what was the high there? 1080 and a half, 1080 and a half, you know. So they took the guys that had to sell the 1080s, you know, which would be more or less that's how grains are priced. All right, if you, oh yeah, let's go to oil share. Okay, so this is oil share, and you know what? Because I'm switching down a version here in CQG just because, well, research is not the way to make money, you know. But my artwork is. And so this is oil share. This is the long oil going up is long oil gains on short meal, and the ratio is 5 oil, short 3 meal. Okay, so it's $30 per one tick, and it moves a lot. Look, it moves a lot. Okay, and this is what we looked at. This is last year in November. Okay, so we bottomed out there around 35 on the low. So call it, you know, 36. That's oil share. So if you listen, if this is the kind of research you like, here, like right here, you come up here, you know, it can or can't play. You know, you got a trend line here. I'm saying if you were looking to sell this here, and then you come back down to those greens here, you know, in the whole scheme of things, you need that perspective chart, okay, to make monthly decisions or quarter end coming up right now, and I talk about it and the accounting of it. All right. I guess I'd be remiss to talk about crude after it just got destroyed the last 2 days, but yeah, look at this. Okay, so this, what was the low? 64 half. Okay, so 64 half, you would have bought this here. You know, because I'm thinking crude. Geez Louise, but it was destructive, you know. This is destructive on one's, you know. And actually, look at where it, you know, and that was from, okay, and they totally leaked the gas. I think this is a buy. I think this is a buy. 64.80 though. You know, we're not running away here. You know, but it's an area here. Okay, let's go back and look at this just a little bit longer. This is crude oil. This is a daily chart. This blue trend line is coming from something here. Here it's the exact low. Okay, here it played for, okay, and then they crushed it. Okay, if the guy that bought that here, he was out here and then selling it short. Okay, we're just talking about these momentum players. Look at this area right here. Okay, there's a lot of crap right there. You can see, yeah, okay, you don't have to know what it is, but you just go know that here it's the low. What is this? This is a daily. Okay, here it's the low. Here you know, this was a warning. This is what I was talking about. These people, I'm like, all these people that bought $75 crude, okay, the retail public or the professional speculators, you know, but they always draw them in, you know, because everybody was looking for 100. Where the fuck were you at 55? You know what I mean? And then we had this whole buy program, diamonds, ding, ding, and I did a video here, and we had the 12th, and then, you know, first time ever. I don't know, maybe that is the first time ever, you know. And you go out and you take out 1, 2, 3, 4 days worth of lows, you know, because we're talking such huge range here. This was what was the low here? Yeah, 68. This was a nice spot to buy it. 68. What was the low? 67.85. Yeah, here it's 68.03 right now. Okay, oh, we're back at one of these greens. Yeah. This is a big area here. In crude, today is Wednesday, hump day. All right, if you need something, email me, ARP@NASDOG. Thanks for watching. This is 14 minutes. Where you get the best dope on the markets. Technical dope is artwork. Thanks for watching.